Right, lazy jacks. I have no blocks or running parts whatsoever on this system. This is the simplest thing I could come up with. It's basically a couple of lines going through a shackle and that's it. They proved really good last season. It was actually a game changer, one of the best additions I've done on my Goat, and I definitely want them again. So they go through a shackle, one on each side of the mast. Two loops. This is the same lines as I used last season. Not even going to replace them. Look, there's no sliding bars, just a loop there. I know it's a very crude system, but it worked wonders last season for me, so I'm gonna stick with it. That's one side done. Make sure it's untangled up there. See, nothing running, it's all fixed. Couldn't be simpler than this. And that's it. Now just adjust them. There you have it, the simplest lazy jacks I could come up with. I know not everyone is fan of lazy jacks, especially on dinghies, but guys, this was one of the best additions I could have made on my boat last season. It makes life so much easier. People often say that lazy jacks is just more complication and all gets tangled and everything. Let me show you how easy it is to put the masts down and back up with the lazy jacks. And that's it. Usually that's how it stays in the club. I then put the tarp over it, and when I come back to sailing, you wanna see how long it takes me to rig the Goat? So, tarp off. That's it. Wheel it on the ramp. Tagger board in place, rudder down, and off we go. So tomorrow, hopefully there will be no rain again, and I can show you in more detail the reefing system. Now the sail is down, and the sail and the boom are hanging on the lazy jacks. I grab the first loop, and it goes over, and this will not slip, guys. Look, there's the tack right behind it. This won't go anywhere. No need for any further attachments whatsoever. This will not slide up the boom. If I want to make it a bit tidier, but this is not needed. Now let's go to the clue. I'm gonna get a loop for the first reef. And now I'll pull the out hole. And now that the loop, the dog bone, is on the carabiner, I need to tie this around the boom. And now I just need to tie the reef ties. I know the greens are the first. They are color coded now, because otherwise you never know which one is which if they were all white. So green for the first one. See the loop here? It won't go anywhere. That around the boom. That on the carabiner. You can see here that the reef ties are not around the boom, they're just around the sail. It's very important on a loose foot sail not to tie this around the boom. Imagine that the loop at the tack or the tie or whatever you have there breaks, snaps, becomes loose. What's going to happen? Your sail is going to be held only by this. Let me try and show you what happens if you have this around the boom. There's not much wind, so I'm gonna tie this here, but never do this. Let's pretend now that the loop came off or the shackle just snapped. Now look, see what's happening now? Now your sail will only be held by this little reinforcement patch here. This is loose, and this is getting all the pressure, all the force from the wind. If it's a strong wind, it's going to rip your sail. So never do this. This way, if the shackle breaks or the loop comes off, it's still putting pressure on the luff, not on the reefing points. But even if this doesn't come off or it doesn't snap,
If you have this tied to the boom, there's always the chance with the strong wind, very strong gust, you're going to put all the force of the foot of the sail on 3 little tie points. That's not very good on your sail. And imagine you capsize and you fall on top of the sail. Again, going to put a lot of pressure on a small patch. So guys, never tie this around the boom on a loose foot sail.
Okay, let's put another reef on. Of course, not everyone will like this system or my modifications like the lazy jacks, the side seats or the side benches, the cargo nets. Some people who actually eat little clowns for breakfast will make jokes about them. Yeah, you know who you are. But anyway, when you buy a boat or a project to build a boat, you're buying this designer's idea of what's the perfect boat for a certain set of circumstances. Once you get it, and I'm sure everyone knows there's no perfect boat for all, you try to modify it to be as close as possible to your perfect boat. And that to me is what really draws me to this kind of DIY stuff. I could have bought the net, I didn't have to make it. I could have bought the hiking straps, didn't have to make them. But what's the fun in that? That's, I mean, some people don't want to, but I enjoy that. I enjoy doing those things, and even more using them afterwards. And that is exactly what got me to build a boat in the first place, instead of just buying an off-the-shelf one or even keeping my laser. I want to go sailing, I want to go fishing, camping, or whatever, just have fun my way. Of course, it all comes at a price. Yes, it's not the fastest or lightest goat now, because let's be honest, it's double the weight of a standard goat. But if I wanted the lightest, fastest, simplest goat, I would just follow Michael's plans 100%, because the design itself is just brilliant. But it's not my perfect boat, is it? So if you want to modify your boat, just do it. Don't do any structural stuff without consulting the designer, because obviously safety first. But anything that doesn't endanger you or others, just do it. Try to make the boat that you built your boat, with your modifications, that is perfect for you. This is pretty much close to my perfect boat now. Still a few things I want to change, and obviously as each season goes by, I will always have different ideas, and probably will even find that some didn't work too well. But for now, this is the setup I'm going to use this season. Still missing the tiller lock or clutch or tenor or whatever you guys want to call it. You can see that video here. Anyway guys, just think, what would your perfect boat look like? Stay safe, and I'll see you next week.